love the game. I love the hustle, man.
Let's get to Dame Lillard. Teddy White, man. So tell me your thoughts on this Dame Lillard situation. Apparently, him and his agent are letting it be known that he only wants to play for the Miami Heat, right? I believe Portland's trying to find the best trade for them. And then from the outside looking in, when we look at it, looking at the Heat roster right now, I don't really see how that makes sense for Portland just to do a straight up trade with the Heat. People are saying, I heard somebody, I think his agents, it was a reporter or something. I guess they were saying they talked to his people. They feel like Portland should do right by Dame. Well, why does doing right by a player mean having to send him to the one only team he's requesting? Why can't I not send you to a Philly? You would still be in a great situation. Why can't I send you to a Boston? You would still be in a great basketball situation. So it's kind of like, that's just my take. But Teddy, what you think of all this with Dame right now?
You know what's, again, I said this on the last podcast, it's starting to become corny, right? Like, it's starting to become
well, you were saying the loyalty was becoming corny, but I think this is becoming even more corny. Like,
it's going together for sure.
The whole story just in general is just starting to become corny.
Yeah,
definitely.
And we had this conversation earlier. I feel like both teams are in the wrong. Both teams
100%.
Not both teams, both parties is in the wrong. Both parties have held on to something way too long than what they were supposed to. You know what I'm saying?
Is that wrong? I mean, I don't know if that's wrong though. That might have. We could say that's a mistake.
I feel like
it's a mistake once we get to this point.
Exactly, I agree because it was too drawn out. It went too long for too many years. You know what I mean? Granted, Dame did try to go ahead and be loyal to Portland. He tried to stick around for them to go ahead and get the right pieces around him.
Portland paid him.
And Portland did pay him and stuff like that. But, at the end of the day, when it's like, all right, well, I want to go ahead and go here to this team and this team only. And then it's like, okay, we're going to go ahead and do right by you.
Their hands are tied because now the narrative is going to be, they didn't do right by Dame if they don't send him to the one. Bro, there's 20 something, like 8 other teams you can go to right now. And like, you're just saying like.
He's trying to get down there to South Beach for whatever reason. And like I said, I feel like that's not the right move. I know you want to go down there for the lifestyle and stuff like that, but if you actually trying to go ahead and go down there to win, by the time they go ahead and break up that team to go ahead and get that trade right,
exactly.
You know what I mean? It's not going to be anything there, but what him, Bam, and Jimmy.
Yeah.
Well, what do you build around that?
I don't think that Dame is making the move necessarily for this year. I think it's, you know what I'm saying? I don't think
it's not for sure, definitely for sure.
So it is. So going there, even when you go to a job, any job, you're not necessarily thinking it's going to be great the first year, but you're going to grow into it. He just knows that it's a culture. One thing that Miami does offer that Boston does not offer is stability in the upper management and on the coaching staff. And this is coming from Dame, who has had a new coach, how many different times?
No, I agree.
Makes sense.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you with the stability part and the culture part. But
the culture for sure.
But I disagree with he's looking forward to future seasons. The reason I disagree with that is when you're Dame, you're not looking at like, I have all these years left in my career.
No, absolutely not.
You're approaching mid-30s. How old is Dame Lillard, to be exact?
I mean, he put 10 good years in Portland so far. So, I mean, Dame's like, 32, 33? So
you're approaching mid-30s and you've had injuries. You've had major injuries. He was out with abdominal injury for a while. So he's 32 years old. He'll actually be 33. He's turning 30 next week, July 15th.
Oh.
He'll be so he'll be 33 July 15th. I don't think he's looking ahead. I think he wants to win now, but I think he's being. I think he's being a prisoner in the moment, like a lot of people have been seeing Miami, seeing what they did. Like, if you put me on that team, what could we have did? But he's not looking at the situation from a logical perspective. You're looking at being a prisoner in the moment, seeing what they did. But I feel like just throwing him on there and taking those other guys away. Max Strus is now a Cleveland Cavalier. Gabe Vincent is now a Laker. Kyle Lowry probably won't be there. Plus, they wouldn't fit together. He'd probably be involved in the trade somehow, 3-way, whatever. So he'd be gone. Tyler Hero will probably be gone. You might have a Caleb Martin, Duncan Robinson, kind of like thing going on. But then after that, you're not going to be able to add. You're not going to be able to add much after that.
That luxury,
those three contracts. And then what? So I don't feel like
All-Star break, maybe All-Star break.
I feel like Dame is thinking he can win now. I don't think he's looking ahead. And I feel
so you said all these.
He does.
So
he absolutely
Teddy,
does.
Teddy, you said that Go ahead, my bad.
No, for him to want to choose Miami right now, he does think that they can win now. And when I say win now, that doesn't necessarily mean this season right here.
Right.
Because
I'm thinking this season. You put me there.
My thing is, I'm with Steph on that one because it's like Miami's made the finals 2 out of the last 3 years. Yeah. I want to say. So they're on the brink of just like that one piece that can go ahead and get them over the top. So he's looking at like, okay, well, dang, they've been there. You put me there. I might be able to go ahead and help them elevate and get that trophy. You know what I mean? But like we said earlier, you know what I mean? And even you just made a good comment right there. Teddy is saying, okay, if I go ahead and go here, we trade all these pieces and stuff like that, right? You talking about All-Star break. Who can you get during the All-Star break?
Right. And then who you going to trade? You know what I mean? Who you going to trade? And who are you trading? I always tell people when we talk about trades, you have to trade value to get value back. You can't. I can't just give you a whole bunch of junk and you give me. You know, like it doesn't work like that. And right now, and one thing people aren't really accounting for when I say people, I'm talking about Dame and his people, is Miami got there because of who they had. If that makes sense.
Yes,
those gritty, grindy guys who were trying to prove themselves and who ended up getting contracts with other teams. You know what I mean? The Struces, the Vincents. You know, Caleb Martin. He came over from Charlotte. You know, he balled out. You know, so I feel like that's kind of like what made this year up for them. I don't think just being like, you just put me there, we're just going to make that same run. I just don't see that. Milwaukee's going to be healthy, and you know that team's been together for a long time. I don't feel like they would have beat Milwaukee if Giannis was 100%. I just don't feel like that. I don't.
That's something for debate.
We'll never know.
Yeah, we'll never know.
But I don't feel like they would have. The Knicks, that was kind of like a toss-up series anyway. I feel like if Julius Randle would have like just kind of locked in and really, I feel like that could have been. I feel like the Knicks were more talented top to bottom when you look at that team. And then
that
Boston, in Boston, they imploded. That was self-inflicted. Boston, we know, is a better team than Miami, like talent-wise.
Definitely.
We know that. So that run that they made is just, I don't want to say it's not real because it was real, but it's not typical. You know what I mean? Right. It's not a typical run that they made. So, you know, I don't know. We'll see, but that's where Dame wants to go. I feel like he'd be better suited than Philly. I feel like if there's a way that you can kind of do a three-way with Harden. I just saw Zach LaVine's name involved in Portland and Philly. And I was like, yo, maybe you can get, I don't know if Harden would be willing to go to Chicago or Portland, but if he gets paid, which seems like that's the only thing he wants to do. You've been to every other team. What more do you want? So go to one of these teams that give you all the money you want, all the shots you want. I think maybe you can do like a Chicago. I don't know I don't know where he wants to go, but
he wants to go to Houston. That's his destination. He wants to get to Houston so bad for whatever reason. I know the reason why he wants to. Houston's not. Houston's not at all.
Maybe it could be a Portland or Houston, or excuse me, or Chicago. So LaVine.
Well, like I said, I mean, if you do that,
put LaVine in Portland, or I don't know.
I feel like I do feel like that if that Dame trade does happen,
I think that's a good three-way.
It has to be a three-way trade for sure.
But those three particular teams, I feel like that's a really good three-way trade.
Well, maybe like a couple pieces here, or maybe a draft pick here, there, whoever feels like they're you know what I mean. But however, not too much.
However, you need to work it out. I feel like you can make a move with those three, and then Dame, like you're still in a good situation. Like if you want to win, that Philly situation with you, Tobias, Embiid, Maxey. Come on, bro. Like, that's way better than what you can get with Miami.
In Miami, I agree, 110%. So, that Miami team will get folded if they go ahead and go over there.
No stability.
Yeah, no, it's definitely no stability in Philly for sure. You know what I mean? I agree. There's definitely no stability in Philly for sure.
I don't like that. I don't like that as
I mean, I like what Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley has going on in Miami.
Here's what we need to ask: does he want to win? Do you want to win or not?
I mean, you can win in Miami. Don't get me wrong. You can win in Miami, but like I said,
you can win games.
You can win
games in Miami.
Yeah, you can. But
you're not going to no championship.
The East is not as deep. That's how the West is.
That's why you know what I mean. So if you put him with Embiid and Maxey and Tobias,
of course, for sure. I agree.
Are you kidding me?
Ain't no debate about that.
I don't look at.
You have a better chance. For sure.
I don't look at Bam and Jimmy like oh my God, dang, whoa. I don't look at it like that.
I don't either. So, and like I said, I think it's more so like, okay, you got Bam, You have, you know what I'm saying, what's called there, too, Butler there. But it's the lifestyle that Miami brings, the culture that Miami brings. Like,
Is that what he's worried about? Is that what he's worried about?
I think so. I mean, you haven't had it in Portland since you came into the league.
Oh, okay.